younger, welcome to the show. Please put your hands together for your comedian. It's Pernille Haaland!
Hey! Oh, lovely to be here. This is amazing. Welcome to this show. I'm Pernille, and we decided to just put this piano here for show. It's not going to be used, a little bit like my uterus, but it's here for show, just so it looks a bit fancy. Oh, it's lovely to be here. I love this city. It's so nice. I feel so at home here. Just as I was walking up to this venue, a guy, bumped into me, and he looked a bit sketchy, but he was so kind. He was like, "Do you want to buy weed?" And I was like, "Oh, no, thank you. I always bring my own." So it's nice to be here. Oh, wow. If you've not met me before, yes, my name is Pernille Haaland. And my shtick is I'm originally from Norway, but I grew up in the UK. So it explains why my face looks like I milk the cows. Yeah, and my voice sounds like Daddy bought the farm. All right, that's the combination. It's lovely to be here. Just out of interest, do we have any international people in? Give us a cheer. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, there you are. Hello. Right at the back. Hello. And give us a cheer if you are Norwegian. 1, 2, 3. Hey, yeah, of course. Just people applauding themselves. It is good to be me. Oh, lovely. Are you from Stavanger? Yeah. That's what they sound like. That's great. Are these your friends? Yeah. And I'm not saying anything more than that. That's nice. How do you guys know each other?
I work with her brother.
You work with her brother? Uh-oh. Lovely. Okay, you work with the brother, and you were like, he's a piece of shit, so I'll take this one. Okay. And then you became friends. And what about this little third wheeler? What's his shtick?
He just met us in the...
He just met you, and then he
I don't think he has friends.
He doesn't. Oh my God. Okay, so we have one creep. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Welcome, sir. We've got some lovely people here as well. You guys all right? Ladies at the front? She's wearing leopard. She's up for it. Yeah? What do you do? What's your job? Secretary. Oh, I feel like she's a spy. But no, that's great. Secretary, cool. Well, fancy. No, this is great. I hope everyone, is all right. I never like to start comedy shows by asking, "Are you well?" Because one time, a woman who sat just in front of me, she answered honestly. I said, "Are you well?" She said, "No, I have a yeast infection." And then I said, "Try using yogurt," which isn't great advice. If anyone's a doctor, you know that's not your first option, all right? But we've all been there, desperate, on a train ride through Europe after a heated night with Michel. We've all been there. So I just kind of made it worse. I'm not great at answering questions off the cuff, giving life advice, not the best. I've had a lot of practice answering this one question, because wherever I go, especially outside of Norway, when people see my name, Pernille Haaland, oh my God, they get excited. Let's be honest. Guys get excited because they're like, "Oh, Pernille Haaland, wait. Are you related to the footballer Erling Braut Haaland?" You don't know who that is. You are my crowd. It means we don't watch football. Basically, he's this famous Norwegian footballer, and he plays for Slytherin. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, very creepy looking dude. Okay. And so wherever I go, people, they ask me, "Pernille Haaland, are you related?" And I've never checked, okay? We are technically from the same rural area in Norway. 500 live there, half of them cows. And we're both blonde, and we've both scored a lot, which is a cheap joke, but so am I. And I don't want to live in this famous footballer's shadow, but it's unavoidable. He's like 60 feet tall. So what I've started doing now is having some fun with that question. When people ask, I say, "Not related, just divorced." which is the dream, my future goal, okay, right? So here's the thing, I always have to address my name wherever I go now, thanks to this schmuck, okay? Because people come up to me after shows and they're like, you didn't even mention him? You didn't even talk about football. You didn't even mention the Premier League. And to those audience members, if anyone's disappointed, well, my answer's always the same. Oh, no refund. So I don't talk enough about men with balls, all right? And it's because I'm too busy tackling them offside, all right? I've run out of red cards, and the game is, we're on overtime, okay? I'm tired. And especially this year's been a bit of a game changer for me. I had a bit of a big year. I recently turned 30. And 5. And 35, all right. I feel like I'm in my prime, according to my Amazon delivery, all right? You know, it's nice having survived my 20s, you know? I travelled to find myself, which, let's face it, it's unnecessary. I was here all along. There was no need to visit Sunless, you know? We've all, like, no need. And I like my 30s for this reason as well. It's just nice having a frontal cortex fully developed. Yeah. Helpful to make sensible life choices. Like, I always say no to attending a baby shower. I say no to drugs unless at a baby shower. And just as I've arrived here in my prime, you know, my body, I'm not going to lie, it's decided to call it a day, all right? My body has decided to start aging, all right? And I knew it was going to happen. It's natural. It's the natural progression of things. And I've seen old people, all right? I have a grandmother, but, like, in my mind, she's always been that way. She was born old, you know? I don't remember her having real teeth, you know? But then I went to visit her in Norway, and she showed me pictures of herself from her younger days. Now, this was a different time. This was BC, before COVID, you know? And honestly, she looked totally different. She didn't hunch, she didn't have a cane, she didn't bite. And I looked at the photos of my Nana, and I looked at her in real life, and I was like, Nana, what happened to you? And then she replied, oh, Pernille, what has happened is staying alive. Terrifying ladies. So that's going to happen. If you stay alive, you're going to age. And I'm getting subtle hints. They're not even subtle. They're hints. They're just like, it's evidence. All right. I used to be able to open my iPhone using face recognition. I can't do that anymore. I can open my mother's phone. Sure. Doesn't help me. I was looking at my wardrobe the other day, and that's just like, that's a photo album of everyone. Everyone I've tried to be, you know. It's just photo album of every breakup, breakdown, break in. And that's what I like to call wearing skinny jeans, okay? They don't fit, but it's like memorabilia from a time when I had a thigh gap, and I could feel the wind of hope and dreams bless my day. And sure, I should throw them away, but it's like giving up hope. You know, one day they will fit. Yeah, no, it's true. You know, and I have to get used to the sad day when I can't use the word tits, my favourite word in the whole world. But now I have to be able to, like, I just have to be honest and call this situation for what it is. Breasts, okay? Weighed down by responsibility. I used to have perky tits, ready to go, ready to eyeball you at the slightest touch, slightest breeze from my thigh gap. Now they are asleep, all right? You need to get to know them, make them feel special, ask them how their day was. All right, this one might perk up, that one is in a coma. And also, like, in my 30s, as I've, you know, you reach some sort of financial stability, I bought property, humble brag, it's a car parking space, it's nothing, it's a shed. But anyways, I have it, it's mine. Or it's like the day I bought some property, both of my tits had a conversation. They were like, well, she's doing all right, she doesn't need a man, so they gave up, okay? That was the day. And also, how am I rewarded for, like, reaching this kind of era of independence and financial stability? Oh, I know. My body has decided to go all alpha, all right? I have started sprouting out black hairs everywhere, and especially around my tits. Right, little eyebrows, just. All right, you look a bit worried, sir. Don't look, I'm not weird. I pluck them out, okay? I pluck them out one by one, and I put them in a jar next to my nightstand. I don't want them on me, but with me as a measure of my success, sure. I have black hairs sprouting everywhere, and especially across my tits, because I went to the gynecologist because I wanted to be touched. But also, I had to have this checkup, and I went to the gynecologist, and she did this ultrasound, and oh my God, they can see everything. And she saw that I had something very fancy. I had these cysts decorating my ovaries. Ooh. And my gynecologist said, "Oh, Pernille, it looks like you have PCOS." And I was like, "Correction, I use a MacBook Pro." Now, PCOS, if you don't know what that is, lads, it is basically, it stands for polycystic ovary syndrome, and it's a hormonal imbalance where you have too much testosterone, big dick energy, all right? And after a blood test, it turns out I don't have PCOS, I just have PCO, which I think means my vagina has politically correct opinions. Yes, down here very woke, up here racist, but down here cannot see colour, cannot see gender, cannot see, you know? So I have these cysts on my ovaries, but on the flip side, when people say, "Grow some balls," I am a Haaland, after all, okay? I'm fine with the fact, okay, right, sure, we're gonna age, it's gonna happen. I just hate the fact that we live in a very youth-obsessed culture where everyone is trying to stay looking young and attractive. And it's a disease. I think it's called the Kardashians. And if you don't know, like, Kardashians, I don't blame them for all of it, but I think they've normalized plastic surgery because everywhere you look, people are getting work done, all right? And you can tell when someone's had enough work done because human beings, we're not meant to have gills, which is what you look like if you've had too much work done. Just like, "Hi, so I've decided to stop breathing through my neck to avoid using facial muscles around my nose. But thank you so much for coming to my wedding. It's the happiest day of my life." Very deadpan. They all look Norwegian to me. You know, what I don't appreciate, like, I'm not against plastic surgery. I just think it's too expensive. And I can only really afford to find my self-worth. So, like, you know, I don't like the secrecy of it. That's the thing that really rubs me off the wrong way. You know, just like I don't like the secrecy of plastic surgery. Just the thing that you spend so much money on, and then we're not allowed to talk about it. We're not allowed to mention it. Like my friend, she got lip fillers, didn't say anything. Right? Don't do that to your friends. Have you ever tried having a conversation with elephant lips in the room? It's jarring. Just tell your friends, because we have the before pictures. We've known you since you were 6 years old. Like, also, I'm worried about the whole plastic surgery thing. Is I feel like younger and younger people are getting work done, and I just want to go up to a 19-year-old who hates the way she looks, and I just want to give her a hug and tell her, you know, it's not going to get better. Just like a bit of a reality check, you know. One time a woman came up to me after this show and she said, "Oh, you're 35 and you're complaining. What do you know? I am 40 and my knees have wrinkles. They have wrinkles!" And I was like, "Oh, have you tried using yogurt?" Like... All right, so we know where the 30-year-olds are. Welcome. Now, I might want to sometimes look like I'm in my 20s. I never want to be in my 20s. Oh my God. People in their 20s, make some noise. 1, 2, 3. Oh, very shy. Oh, they sound so hopeful, just like, oh, like very, oh. Lovely to have you here. Oh. Well, it's like, I don't know, sis and shush, but okay, hi, lovely to have you here. How are you finding your 20s? Very good. I'm getting fucked a lot. Okay, great. No, that's good, that's amazing. Well done. For me, personally, like, especially in my early 20s, I just felt, oh God, it was such a tumultuous time. I felt like I was this walking, talking contradiction. At one end of the scale, really, really confident, unaware, corrupt with beauty, just like, everyone wants to fuck me. And then on the other end of the scale, really insecure, full of self-doubt, lost, just, do you want to fuck me? Searching for validation in all the wrong places, son. That's like, we've all been there. Oh, man. And I feel like, how old are you in your 20s? Are you like below 25? 24. Oh, cool. All right, exciting. No, here's the thing, but you're the problem. Now, here's the thing. No, I feel like I'm older when I'm surrounded by people like you. Obviously, when I'm talking about 20-year-olds who are about 24, I'm not talking like, not you. You're perfect. You came to this show. I'm talking about the dickheads out there, all right? You're perfect. What's your name, 24-year-old? Anna-Len, lovely Anna-Len. Oh, Anna-Len, lovely. Now, I do feel like I'm a bit older when I'm surrounded by people like you, okay? Because I was heading out of a cafe and I bumped into this younger girl, all right? Stunning. I didn't know her name, but she smelled like a Chloe. So imagine her, all right? And I'm face to face with Chloe, and we're both heading outside, and we're just by the door, and she kind of stops and looks at me, and this is when I realise, oh yeah, I don't have that kind of privilege where I could just look at someone and say, yeah, get the door for me, So I was just like, oh, of course, naturally, raised in the UK, I am polite, of course. I always say, please, thank you, sorry, after sex. Naturally, I was like, of course, you want me to open the door. You are a princess, of course, I'll open the door. I held it for her. Chloe walks out, and when it's my turn to follow, she doesn't return the favour. So the door swings back and hits me, smack in the face. And I remember thinking, I hope you get hit by a bus, which is mean, all right? A minibus, sure. But that's when I realised, oh yeah, these privileges of beauty and stuff, like, I've lost them, and I'm no longer the princess in the story. What I've become now is more of a comic relief kind of character, yeah? Funny sidekick, cameo, Sebastian the Crab, yeah? I'm not a crab. I've had crabs, but that's not... The point is, I'm not saying I now empathise with ugly stepsisters in a Disney movie, but I do understand why we need them, because obviously not you, Annalyn, you're perfect, but these other privileged twats heading towards their future without looking back at the ones who enable them the opportunity. And I'm not saying think about the suffragettes, think about Ruth Bader Ginsburg as you merrily skip towards Zara, but just try not to be a bitch, because we all know a bitch. And if you don't know one, lucky you, you're the bitch. You're not really. I love you. Thank you for coming to the show. Dickheads out there. Those are the people I'm talking about. No. Here's the thing. The art of being bitchy. That's something really like women we've invented and we've finessed, we've honed. I don't know when we learn it. Like what age. Like we're just very good at it. I don't know what came first, the chicken or the. But we've perfected and we speak passive aggression fluently. We've all heard it, What's wrong? Nothing. Want to talk about it? Oh, now you want to talk. Are you all right? I'm fine. That's a daily conversation I have with my tits. And I thought about, because there's so much bitchiness, we're so good at it, and I was wondering, why do we keep doing it, passive aggression and stuff. But then it dawned on me, it's because it's the way we fight. Yeah, we women, we don't get to do fun things like start world war. So what can we do? Bring down the vibe. Pew, pew. Make it uncomfortable for everyone. Pew, pew. Not invite you to brunch. I think resting bitch face was invented for this reason. Just to sit there like a little mine. Just like, I can hold this face for 40 years. I could detonate at any moment. This is my Cold War, bitch. You know, I think it's warfare. That's what it is. And sure, like you could lose a leg in an actual war. That's very sad. But like psychological warfare, okay, sure, you could lose a leg in a war, but all right. Can you survive a relationship with your mother? A FaceTime with your sister after you've put on a new dress and you're trying to like get her validation, and what does she say? Yeah, it looks nice. I just can't tell if your head has shrunk or you've gained weight. All right? Oh, because the relationship between women, we don't want to admit it, but it's very competitive. It is. And if you don't believe me, what happens when two girls like the same boy? Yeah. All I can say is her name was Catherine. And she's dead to me. It's competitive on a night out, especially if you're trying to attract the attention of a mate, all right? I went on a night out, regretted it, all right? I went on a night out and I just saw the dance floor and it's full of like 20-year-olds, it's full of Anne Helens, you know, just grinding, just going crazy as you do, Anne Helen, I can tell, twerking away, you know, living your best life. And I looked at the sea of 20-year-olds just getting it on and I just realised, oh, this here is not for you anymore. And so I ran and I hid in the girls' toilet. I packed up my things and I was like, I'm going to go home to Netflix and chill where I belong, you know? And just as I was about to head home, an angel appeared. A drunk woman over 50 called Sharon. Stumbled in. She took one look at me and she was like, oh, hello, babes, don't you look gorgeous? Babes, why are you crying? Whoever it is a dickhead. He does not deserve you. You are gorgeous. You are gorgeous. You are... And then, honestly, it was one of the most beautiful moments of my life. As I sat wiping Sharon's face, okay? And I just realised, fuck it, like, you can have fun at any age. She's having the time of her life, all right? And it gave me the confidence I needed to hold my head up high. Sharon couldn't. And head towards my future. But I am aware of younger girls. I am, just because men my age and older have all started to date younger women, and you don't realise it until you see it, you know. And my friend, he was very like, but don't judge. She's actually like, yeah, she's younger than me, but she's really mature for her age. And I was like, that says a lot about you, Derek. I don't get it. Like, I've never understood why younger girls are attracted to older men. I don't know, maybe it's because they're responsible, they water their houseplants. I don't know, I'm just spitballing, I'm guessing here. Maybe it's because in your 20s you are more susceptible to seeking approval from people, relationship men. I just want to go up to those young girls and say, you know, you get that approval in your 30s from a paycheck. And it's more reliable. Hold on, you know. Maybe it's also because, like, younger girls, you're not experienced enough, so you don't know when someone is lying to you. You know, I was having a chat with this younger girl, and she was telling me about this guy who didn't text her back, but it was because he was in the shower for 14 hours. Like, the only way I'd believe that guy was if he drowned, all right? I've got a bit of experience. I've been lied to a lot. Humble brag. And it might come as no surprise to any of you. I am single, or as I like to call it, happy. I love being single. It's great. You know, give us a cheer if you're single. 1, 2, 3. Hey, yay. Oh, of course, leopard lady, you are single, of course. One applause. Creepy guy's interested. This is great. This is what this night is about, you know? All right. I've been single not long, 2 months, 4 years, and like I'm loving it. I just love the fact that you are very independent. Do you like your independence and like not needing anyone? Yeah. Like, don't talk to me, I am fine. Yeah, exactly. I love it. No, it's great. No, but I love the fact that I'm independent. If something goes wrong in my flat, I don't go knocking on my neighbour's door. No, I don't need help from a man. Not when I have YouTube tutorials. Oh, every day I'm learning the skills of life, you know? I'm learning how to fix a shower curtain, click, 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 how to fix a TV, click, 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 how to make a man love me. Like the skills of life, how to understand the digits of my toaster, how to iron and why. Like the skills of life. Now I like the word single, I think it's just right. I don't like it when my friends, you know, try to boost morale and they say things like, Pernille, well, you're single and you're fabulous. And that just adds pressure. I don't know what they expect from me. Like every time I leave my house, I have to be wearing some sort of feathered boa just so I can distract from the fact that I am an emotional eater. Like I'm not perfect, okay? Don't add pressure to my already busy day. I like being single. I don't like it in this situation when you're at a restaurant and a waiter comes over and asks, table. So let me do that again. Did I have a stroke? Yes. When you're at a restaurant, a waiter comes over and asks, party of one. Yeah, starts clearing the other end of the table so everyone can see. Party of one. It's just me and all of my thoughts. I like one description of being single. I like flying solo. Isn't that nice? Until my sister said, "Oh, flying solo? You mean flying so low?" Yeah. Is she a bitch or in an unhappy marriage? Time will tell. Okay. Now I feel like as a single person, I don't mind couples. You're right. Do we have any couples here tonight? Very quiet. Don't worry, I'm not going to take you on, but I am going to just out of interest. Any couples here? No one in love in Stavanger. All right. Love comes to die. Okay. I'm sure some of you are in a couple. That's fine. Obviously, when I'm talking about people, like you guys are perfect. You came to this show. I'm talking about the out there, you know? But I do think sometimes people in couples, like, they do judge single people, and I don't feel like you can get away with it because I mean, couples, some of the most dysfunctional relationships out there, especially between men and women, the miscommunication, their favourite game they love to play, passing the ball of hope and let down. Hope and let down. Hope and it's just like, well, you said you loved me, but then you take me for granted. You want to talk, but then you never listen. You said you liked fantasy football. I was horny. The miscommunication. I always know when it's a terrible couple when my girlfriend is like trying to compensate when she introduces her partner as her better half. All right, you know, just like, this is Dan, my boyfriend, I like to call him my better half. It doesn't help you because then what are you really saying? I'm just a bit shit next to him. Like, and then when you get to know Dan, you realise he's a prick. So what does that say about you, Sheila? I feel also like a fun game single people like to play on people in couples. This is my favourite game. Find out which one of them wishes they were single. There's always one asking you too many questions at the dinner party. Just like, so Pernille, what did you get up to yesterday? Did you go out? Did you meet people? Did you have a drink? Where did you have a drink? What did you drink? Oh, did you meet someone? Did you hook up with a stranger? Have an orgy? Ride into the sunset on a horse? Did you embrace your freedom? And I'm always like, oh. Yes. That is every Monday for me. I think all of my friends who are in couples, I feel like, especially the girls, I think they've rushed into these couples because we're getting desperate, you know. It's desperation. And what's started happening is like, it's really easy to find a boyfriend, you know, a girlfriend, a partner. You just have to lower your standards. That's it. You just have to have no standards. Like, before, we used to have standards. The guy, he used to need to have a job. Yeah? And now, the other day, I was applauding my girlfriend's new boyfriend because he doesn't wear Birkenstocks to the gym. And we were like, you've met the one, haven't you? You've met the one. And then I find myself in situations with these couples, and you know, I was in the car with one of them, and I was sat in the back seat. I think they forgot I was there because they started arguing. And it's just, you know, what do you do when she shouts out, "Oh, Mike, you're so selfish," and then he hurls back like, "Well, Claire, I hate all of your friends." Yeah, it went from a happy road trip to a hostage situation. I will give my friends this, like, going into a couple, it takes a lot of work, and I think it takes bravery, you know, compromise, sacrifice. And I've been in couples. I have a lot of baggage. I've been out there, baggage. I like to call it research data, yeah? I've been out there, inspected penises, gathered intel, yeah. And I am what society would call a slut. Now, I don't like that word, slut, okay? I prefer hero, saviour, legend. Like, that's fun. You know, when I use the word slut, I'm not necessarily saying, you know, I'm not necessarily talking about, like, OnlyFans, short skirt, smeared mascara, pussy hanging out. Like, no, I'm 35. This is a vulva, okay? What I'm talking about is, like, the definition of slut. You know, every woman is a slut if we look at history, because it was written by men. Yes, the patriarchy, you name it, Cleopatra, Jeanne d'Arc, like, sluts, massive hoes, all right? Because men, they decided we were all sluts, and their greatest work of fiction, the Bible, spells out the rules, you know, for what it means to be a woman. And we have two types, you guys. Yeah, we've got Mary and Magdalene. We've got virgin, whore. Pure, dirty with a yeast infection. You know, those are the two types. I would love to be all pure, but that means you've got to wait around for God to come, his premature immaculation, and that's triggering. I don't want to be holy ghosted, you know? And also it's difficult because I don't know if I believe in God, or maybe I'm playing hard to get. Like, it's unfair if it just takes one penis. That's impossible. One penis to seal your fate. Bam! Live Guardium Slutiosa! Like, forevermore. So now, like, okay, I've accepted I'm a slut because I've had, like, more than one penis, and that was a fun night. But, like... No, it's true. So here I am. And so I've decided, all right, if I'm going to be a slut, I'm going to reclaim that word. It's very difficult if you try to use that word in a different setting. If you go up to someone and you're like, who's the little slut? Like, if you say that to a newborn baby, your niece... in my experience, your sister doesn't return your phone call, okay? It's very tricky. And now we live in a very sex-positive kind of world, and that's great. And sometimes the word slut can be cool, depending on who says it. All right, if a straight man walks up to me, and Mr. Creep over here, if he walks up to me and he calls me a slut, I'm like, you know, no. But if a gay man comes up and calls me a slut, I'm like, meow, meow. Because it's encouraging. It's not so shameful. And also, it's so unfair. It's got so much shame around, you know, attached to that word. And, like, we sluts, like, it's unfair because it takes two to slut. If I'm a slut, what does that make the other person? A slut maker. And they never get mentioned. And we wouldn't have to be sluts if the slut maker stayed. It's this vicious cycle. And as a white privileged lady who easily gets offended on other people's behalf, I am offended on behalf of the sluts. Just because I think it's unfair. Lumping us all together like we're the same, we're not. Some of us go pro. Get paid to score. Play in the Premier League. I can only describe what I'm doing as community service. You know, I'm in it for the love of the game, maybe a free coffee if I'm lucky, you know. And if you're a slut working for free, I've had the thought after a sexual encounter, well, I should have been paid for that. You know, I gave it my all. Audience ungrateful. 3 people walked out. Like, we've all been there, you know? And also, I think sometimes if you're, you know, dating, sometimes you can be treated like you're a professional slut. Like, no, don't put me in that situation. I was dating this guy, we were having an intimate moment, and he said the words, "Can I come on your face?" Now, I understand we get that from porn. Porn has infiltrated every part of society. This guy I was with, you know, he's seen another guy on one of those videos, you know, this guy come on a woman's face. He's thought, fun. I might want to give that a go. Drawn a head on a piece of paper, had a few practice goes. Like, who knows what men get up to? I just want to, like, clarify, when you've seen the professional porn stars all, yay, at the sight of semen, we need to remember, they are acting. In real life, very different. Can I come on your face? I had 2 thoughts going on in my head at the same time. Like, the feminist part of my brain was very much, fuck no, I deserve respect. My father loves me. And then the comedian part of my brain was a bit more like, oh, well, all right, well, let's see how good your aim is. And it was very, it landed all over the place. It's like this guy had saved up all of his air miles for this one takeoff, all right? And if you want to know what it's like after you've been drenched in slime, it's never a, wow, you did it, my boy! Like, it's not that. It's much more of a hop. Well, at least we have something to talk about in therapy. And I should stop the joke, but I'm going to keep going. Now, then you have to, like, this stupid walk to the bathroom, you know, your only refuge from the scene of the crime. Or I don't think people realise you have to, like, get up like a fallen soldier, you know, coming out from a trench. And depending on where you've been hit, you know, it's either... or a bit of a... or a bit like, oh, don't let the enemy hear me. Or you look like me, like you're learning Braille. I'm not going to lie, that joke, because I've been on tour with this show everywhere outside of Norway, which is exciting. One time, it didn't land. It didn't land with this lady called Julie, this middle-class white lady, who stood up and said, "Excuse me, I don't find it appropriate to laugh at trauma." Luckily, we had Americans in who shouted out, "More come!" And it became this culture war of different nationalities. But I think Norwegians were very liberal, and Norwegian people are very liberal. My mother, this is who raised me. She always says, after, like, if she's seen me do stand-up, she always says, "Yeah, Pernille, okay, in your jokes, nobody dies. So is it even funny?" Like, that's who raised me. So, bless her. Very religious lady. Not that she goes to church, she just practices judgment. And, bless. Now, I'm just reporting from what I've experienced, out there dating. It's tricky if you're dating. I think. It's hard. The pace of dating is so quick. You know, you never get to know someone. There's too many pictures of men holding dead fish on Tinder. Like, it's just too much. Who are they trying to attract? A bear? I don't get it. What are you trying to say? Like, haha, this could be you. Like, it's so weird. Oh. it's so hard. And then when you finally you're on a date with someone, the pace is it's so fast paced. You don't really talk, and then you have to be intimate with that person. I just if I don't know you, I find your penis to be terrifying. Penises are a bit much. Just they're very very in your face, literally. Just let me in. And I'm not saying vaginas are prettier. No. But I do prefer their energy. Just much more. Fuck you. More respect. That's why sometimes, when I meet a penis out there, in the wild, I just, my first line of defense is just cover it up. If you see one coming, just and that's one way to do it. I'm not saying it's the way, the best way. I recently was hit on by a girl. Oh, very exciting, yeah. A lady, yeah, from Drammen. Oh. But she had such confidence. She came up to me and she was like, I get it, you're straight. Doesn't mean we can't have fun. And that's when I realised I'm not a lesbian, because my first thought was karaoke. And that's when you know, all right? So I'm kind of stuck with the guys, and I've thought about my past relationships and kind of where it went wrong, and I think I have daddy issues. I do. It's not groundbreaking, but I was raised, by a loving and supportive father. Yeah. How dare he teach me men are good people, So I walked out there thinking, guys, they're all going to be hurt Norwegian. And then life quickly intervened and asked, can I come on your face? So I had to learn a lot. My dad's been my best friend my whole life, all right? Especially when I was a kid, when I was a child, of about 5, 6, I had a terrible stutter. Yeah, I had a terrible stutter. I was very late to learning how to talk. It made me very shy, very insecure, hence why I'm a comedian today, okay? I really struggled talking. My dad, he told me recently, he was like, Pernille, when you was a child, we was very worried for you. So, we tested you for the autism 5 times. But the doctors agreed there's nothing wrong with you. You just don't want to talk to people. I guess you is Norwegian. Okay, so that was the diagnosis. But I went to so many specialists and this speech therapist. She, I was this shy, insecure child, didn't dare to talk. And she was brilliant. She just said to me, well, basically, you just need to start singing your words, which is great advice when you're crippling of shyness. Just start singing. And so I didn't dare do that on my own. My dad would have to sing with me. Ugh. We were like the Von Trapp family from The Sound of Music. Minus the Nazis. We were the Nazis. No, okay. But I think when I started school, I was very shy and really wanted to make friends and I was very shy and Mrs. Smith, she loved that, all right, because she could tell. People pleaser over here, and so she would always sit the noisy boys next to me, because what would I naturally do? Take responsibility, yes. Raise them, yes. All right. So at school, I was taught my ABCs, algebra, history. I learnt behind every great man there's a doormat. Me, And that's my kind of how I interacted with men. I would invite the noisy boys. I would seek them out. As an adult, I would let them in. They, in return, would leave their stuff around, the odd sock, opinions, a fragile ego, and I'd get to work, all right? That's kind of been my dating history so far, and I'm not here to give advice, all right? But if you love and support your daughter too much, this could be their future, all right? They can go out there trying to, fix problems, I guess, and then find themselves on a date with someone who says, Pernille, don't get me wrong. I just think, personally, Andrew Tate is misunderstood. No. Yeah, don't worry. Oh. Don't worry. I dumped that guy. The next 8 months later. Look, if you don't know who Andrew Tate is, well done. All right? well done. He's a very popular guy, followed by boys, young men, police, and Andrew Tate, or Pitbull on a budget, whatever you want to call him. Okay. Great guy, great role model for lost boys, because he was just like, look, you need purpose in your life? Follow me, all right? Get rich quick, buy a car, get a model girlfriend, and if you've got spare time on your hands, commit crimes against humanity, be a man. And all of these lost boys were a bit like, oh, thank God someone's got the answer, because we're over here wondering about our masculinity, just stuck thinking about the Roman Empire. So many people, boys, love to think about the Roman Empire, all right? My friend, he loves to think about it at least 7 times a day. And when I asked him, like, I was just like, oh, if you spent that energy on something else, you would have graduated university, you know? All right. But he loves to think about the Roman Empire. He loves it. And I was like, what is it that fascinates you so much? And he's just like, well, they were just badass gladiator killers. And I'm not. And I said, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. This is a good thing. You know, coming to terms with the fact that you are mediocre. That's a good thing. But there's so many lost boys out there. I understand you're having a bit of a crisis. I get it. You feel like the world is changing without you. So reconnecting to your masculinity can fix your situation. I just want to say, no amount of Colosseums you build on Minecraft will secure your legacy. Yeah? And please don't feel sorry for yourself like my friend. He's like, well, everything is being taken away from me. I don't need to protect. I don't need to provide. What even is my purpose? And I was like, to make YouTube tutorials. I would watch, I would subscribe. I don't know if I helped my friend. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Maybe he will become an incel. Any incels in tonight? Okay, there never are, but one of these evenings. No, incels, I know that's a problem in society, and I feel very sorry for incels, I really do. I'm just grateful we have the remedy. We have the remedy. We have the remedy. Sluts. Yes. Saving our boys, you know? So they don't blow up the world. I want to give credit where credit is due. I want the ladies of the night to be knighted. Imagine King Charles coming out being like, sluts, you are knighted today for your service to our country. And all the sluts like, you're welcome, your majesty, high five. And like, great celebration. Lovely. My friend was talking about purpose. I think purpose is something everyone kind of struggles with finding in life. I was confronted with my purpose on a podcast. It was all about relationships. I should never have done it. But basically, it was me and these 2 guys, and we were having a nice chat. It was like a comedy kind of podcast. And then it got a bit serious. One of the guys, he just goes, Pernille, let's be honest, all right? Jokes aside, you are 35. And then you're single. You know, don't you feel like you're past your expiration date? Who can you meet out there now? Leftovers? What even is your purpose? Yeah, very harsh. Calling single men leftovers? Am I right? Yeah. Yeah, no, basically he put me on the spot, and he basically said, like, what is your purpose if you are no longer desired by men? And I've had some time to think, and I think my answer is a holiday. Yes, I've earned it. I've worked so hard. And those comments, all right, those comments, I would say are quite sexist. I can't imagine any of my male stand-up colleagues ever being put on the spot like that. It's very sexist. Sexism gets easier to handle as you get a bit older, just because you realise, you know, you choose your battles more strategically, and then, you know, you finally realise you don't have to argue with stupid people. Isn't that amazing? You can just don't argue with stupid people. Like, I was having a chat with someone who said, what do you do for a living? I said, comedy. He said, women aren't funny. I said, correct. Please drive the taxi. Like, just, it's fine. Also, like, the idea women aren't funny, this baffles me. It's an idea that was invented by a man. Yeah. This hilarious guy, I think you've heard of him, Mr. Sigmund Freud. Yeah, back in the day, he was the Joe Rogan podcast of his time. All of the men gathered around to hear his ideas, like about how women, we envy men's penis. And men, you all want to fuck your mothers. And we all want to do cocaine. Like, he had lots of kooky little ideas. And his whole... he had this whole, like, theory about humor and how it's all linked to procreation. Like, we all... In this society, we're all trying to attract a mate, and humour is men's weapon. Yes, because if you can make your mate, a woman, laugh, she will want to lie with you. Yes, she'll forget about what you look like. She'll forget about your short height, your lack of hair, the fact that you're ginger. She will procreate with you. Whereas women, we don't... You know, humour, that's not impressive to men, all right? We are visually impressive. Ah, yes. We have so many holes. So just like, don't talk, distract. Don't ask a man to want to fuck and laugh at you at the same time. That's distracting. Also, yeah, that's his theory. That was his theory about it. And it kind of makes sense in my experience. Like, I once brought my ex-boyfriend to see me do stand-up for the first and last time. Now, after the show, I could tell he was less attracted to me. And when I asked him, did you have a nice time? He looked around and he just said, yeah, I was just really surprised, you know, because people laughed. And I was like, oh, did you want them to cry? That's a different kind of show. That's slam poetry. Let's go. You know? I once did stand-up and I walked backstage. I got stopped by a bouncer who said, oi, 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 are you allowed to be here? Oh, wait, are you one of the comedian's girlfriends? And I said, whoa, no, my face is on the poster. And I thought he got it, but he started laughing with his friend saying, ha, 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 one of the comedians put his girlfriend's face on the poster. And I once did stand up, and I noticed a guy on the 4th row masturbating. But hey, before we judge, he found me fuckable and funny. Women can have it all. Aren't we lucky? No. But here's the thing. I kind of like that. You know, I would need that from a partner, but not at the same time in front of people. That's where I draw the line. And so I'm not going to lie. All of the experiences, the baggage I'm collecting as I stay alive, all right, it's affecting my dating life. I'm not going to lie. You know, I think my hot girl summer has turned lukewarm. All right. Yeah, occasionally I dip into the pool of sexy culture, get wet, a girl has to eat, but then I quickly get out again so I can wipe away feeling responsible, feeling like I need to fix a problem, all right? And that's been working well for me. My friends disagree. They find it very boring. They're all like, well, Pernille, you can't just stay single forever. You are going to fall in love when you least expect it. Very threatening, right? So now, to ruin that, I've started expecting it. I go into every situation just like, so now that you're in love with me, do I have to pay for these coffees? Like, I'm insufferable. I hate it when my friends say, well, like, he's around the corner. Like, I don't trust corners anymore, okay? I walk in long strides and sidesteps. It took me 2 hours to get here tonight, you know? I don't like it when my friends say, well, love is blind. And I'm like, well, I am not. My vagina is, but I've learnt enough Braille to keep away from dickheads. So, and I was very set on kind of like that's me. That's me YouTube tutorials. We're good, you know, we're good to go. But then, tragedy struck. I woke up one day and it was a pretty normal day, but I just had this like idea, just like this thought. I want to have a baby. What? No, I want to have a baby. Where did it come from? I want to host a baby shower. Ah! Where is the yogurt? Like, I didn't know where it had come from. But I think in your 30s, you do get asked that question a lot. Are you going to have kids? Are you going to have kids? Are you going to have kids? And I was a bit like, not with you, Uncle Sven. You know, like... But looking back, I think what had happened was the day I woke up with the idea I want to have a baby, the day before, I'd been hanging out with my friend who had a baby, all right? And I don't know what happened, but my tits just woke up, and then I could hear this little voice inside my head say, "Take the baby. Take the baby. Who's the little slut?" I don't know if that was for the mum or the baby, very confused, okay? So then I was like, oh God, I'm going to have to, make a baby. I can't kidnap this one. Who do I think I am? Andrew Tate? Like, no. So then I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to become pregnant. My first idea, the second thought I had, I want to have a baby. And then it was, have a one-night stand. Yay! In Stavanger. No, don't worry. If we've learnt anything throughout this show, cum doesn't land in me. We're safe, okay? So then my next idea was like, all right, if I'm going to have to become pregnant, how do I do this? I was researching, I was on YouTube, and then quickly I narrowed it down to like freezing your eggs, which is so cool. You put all of your eggs in one basket, you rent a little shelf in a freezer, okay? You pay a lot of money, but I mean, yeah, okay, it's expensive, but compared to the housing market out there, like a bargain, all right? I might move in, stay forever young, like, yes. We could do it. So I opted for freezing my eggs. I didn't know anything about it, all right? I was very nervous, and then I met my doctor, who really helped, because his name was Tarja. He's like the most creepiest guy I've ever seen in my life. Very wrinkly face, very old. Like, I live in this medical office. I have never seen sunshine. I've only seen pussy. Like, terrifying. And I was like, this guy, he was cheap, basically. So I was like, this guy knows how to freeze eggs. So so what you do when you freeze your eggs is you go on, you take hormones because you've become a little hen, and your eggs need to grow. Look, okay. So you get a syringe, you take a syringe to your belly. It's a bit awkward, it's not comfortable. But according to Tarja, I was really good at it. He was like, no marking. I mean, Pernille, you have a talent. It's just nice to know if stand-up doesn't work out, I can become a drug addict. And you do that for 10 days. Before you know it, it's Easter, baby, all right? Let the egg hunt begin. And you find yourself sitting in a chair. I was very nervous, very uncomfortable, just like, feeling very vulnerable. And Tarja, he was down here, I don't know, going like, come out. Like, I don't know what he was doing, but he was doing something like that. And I was just sitting there, a bit uncomfortable, vulnerable. And actually, this was really nice. I was allowed to pet him throughout the whole thing, which was really reassuring to me, okay? So you're there, and the first thing that happens is you're supposed to watch a screen, and then Tarja comes out and says, put away your phone, because you're not allowed to take a selfie. And then, so you're just there, and then you're watching this other screen, and oh my God, you can see everything. You can see your uterus, you can see your eggs, lots of balls, lots of mini Haalands, a football team in the making, And then there's this syringe that goes up. Yeah, that's Tarja. Yeah, he needed to sedate me, and that hurt a lot, but I was into it. But then he took it out, all right, and then he replaced it with this metal straw, and oh my God, you couldn't feel anything, but it was weird. You could hear. And I can only describe it. Tarja, he starts vacuuming. Yeah? Doing a bit of spring cleaning. He found a condom, and these eggs, they just disappeared. They got sucked out, like the life literally got sucked out of me. I felt so skinny. And then they disappeared into this tube around Tarja, and then up there's this window in this medical office, and there's this woman. She's got a white coat on, and she's looking in, and she's there to freeze my eggs. And this woman, she's Polish, and she gets so excited as she sees the eggs coming through. She can't help herself. This Polish Easter bunny, she starts egging me on. 1 egg, 2 egg, 3 egg, like a personal trainer. Give me 4, give me 5, give me 6. Can you give me more? And I'm like, and he's like, come out. Like, it was just like this. Amazing teamwork. No wonder, all right? We got out 21 eggs. Yeah, 15 were frozen. 10 are viable. Yeah. That will give me 3 babies, and maybe one of them will get a job. The future is bright. But I honestly, it was such a relief for me, because I don't want to be a mother tomorrow, but maybe in the next 40 years, sure, you know? And also, like, having gone through that, I just want to say, everyone should freeze their eggs. You know, even if you have kids, they might be shit. Like, have a backup plan, is my advice. Because that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to make sense of things, make sense of the world, trying to have valuable, lovely experiences here, collecting baggage as we go along, and the baggage that will inform your future choices as we all of us try, to quote my grandmother, stay alive. Now, you've been great. Thank you so much for coming. I will leave you with this. A couple of months ago, I was doing this big show. It was like a bit of a gala. I was very nervous. I was standing backstage and I was going through my jokes and I was just like, hairy tits, hairy, like, give the people what they want, you know? Like, I'm going through my jokes, very, like, in my own little zone. And I feel someone tap me on my shoulder. So I turn around and I look up to see someone very famous. And he's not wearing his Slytherin robes, but it's like definitely him. And he looks down at me, I look up at him, and he says, "Are you Pernille Haaland?" And I say, "Yes." And then he says, "Are we related?" And guys, time will tell. You've been amazing. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye.